Lost city, billions of diamonds, Nazi agents. Colonel, sir, you must think I was born yesterday.
For the umpteenth time, it's true. And keep your voice down. I don't want the whole world to know.
Jack, why do you think we're here?
I'll get all of you to Abu Abu, and then you're on your own.
Shh. What's wrong?
Coming to the territory of the Water Warriors.
Is that bad?
Very bad.
Don't think I like the way he said that.
We don't know much about them except they are killers. Okay, everybody, just keep your eyes peeled.
Hello, folks. Welcome to the City Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Gary Hill, and with you tonight is Suzanne.
Greetings from the person that spent 2 hours poking themselves in the eye trying to get used to contacts.
Nice. Sometimes that vanity thing is a real bitch, ain't it? You know, just that you don't wear those heavy glasses.
Oh, I just want to be able to see, right? That's all.
Yeah, there's that. And with us tonight also, you know, still carrying that torch for subpar chicken sandwiches because he loves them both so much. That makes from the They Must Be Destroyed on Site podcast. Mr. Lee Russell is here. How you doing, sir?
Great. And the joke is, of course, that I don't like the McChicken, actually. I think it's also a piece of shit.
Man.
But just comparing one of the like worst fast food sandwiches to like the most rotten, disgusting looking food in the world. That's basically the joke. But yeah,
it's like, you know, soggy lettuce on a chicken patty with subpar mayonnaise. It just sounds delicious.
No, not at all.
Man, that seasoned patty though, goddamn, you know.
You can just ask. You can just ask for that.
Sorry.
Take that out of the fucking sandwich and throw the extra shit away.
The demographic looking for that special kind of drunk that would eat that and say yeah, but you know, sober not so much. You know.
Well, that's what the Burger King Have It Your Way is for. It's for the people who are drunk at like 2 a.m. You know.
Or those subpar chicken sandwiches that are not Popeyes, or try to be like Popeyes, and you know, this is a Popeyes chicken sandwich. It's just not, you know.
I've never had Popeyes, but we have a chain up here in Canada. I think there's a few in America too called Mary Brown's, which is really, really good. So
sounds like maybe a southern thing, like Bojangles. We don't have that here either, but that's a southern thing. Suzanne knows about it probably.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's enough talk about food. We're all very starving now, I'm sure, for delightful soggy lettuce. But yes.
Oh, no, I was actually smart. I got dinner done, and I told Pat, I'm like, I don't want to be shoveling food in my mouth at 7:55. Can we please just move this along? And he said, I want to see the face off. I'm like, just get me the fucking bowl.
See, the problem with the women and I live with one that pulls the so what are we having for dinner thing, and then you have no preference, but they're still pressing the fact that what do we have for dinner? What will make you complain? Just explain this to me, please. You know, and then we'll have that. You know.
Wow. I think you share some of the sexist attitudes of one of the movies we're covering tonight.
Oh,
well, it's an annoyance, Lee. I'm not her husband or her boyfriend, and you know, I'm that other animal. So there's that. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, we'll get into all that. But I'll get into it right now and ask Lee what he's been watching lately.
All right, I'll just mention two things real quick. So I do a little thing where I screen movies sometimes for my friends on Saturday nights when I'm not podcasting. And so it was, you know, it's Black History Month still as we're recording. And I tend to do blaxploitation films in February. So one of the ones we did last weekend was the Black Gestapo. A little bit of tie-in to what we're covering tonight. But yeah, it with a name like Black Gestapo, you would think it would probably be the most extreme, like just on the nose exploitation of that concept that you could possibly think of. But it actually isn't as bad as it sounds. It's basically just, exploiting the idea of like Black Power movements at the time. And like, what if one went so over the edge that they basically just started emulating Nazis and basically just become Nazis by the end? And it doesn't really interrogate that idea all that much. It just uses that as a kind of high concept kind of idea to do a really good blaxploitation film with a lot of killing, a lot of titties, and a lot of fun performances. It's got Charles Robinson from Night Court as the main Black Nazi, basically.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so that was a fun little discovery. Like, I'd known about this film for a long time, but I'd never seen it, and watching it, it's like, oh shit, that's Charles Robinson from Night Court there. What the fuck? I knew he had been in a couple of movies around this time. I know, like he's also in Sugar Hill, which is another one we showed recently. But yeah, this was fun. It does have like, these white gangsters are like abusing the Black community, and the Black Power group that's kind of like policing the Black community isn't hardcore enough, so some of them splinter off and like become the Black Gestapo. And when they basically wipe out all the white gangsters, they become just as bad as the white gangsters and like sort of take over their racket that they were running. Like they had like a racketeering thing going, and with all the different businesses and stuff going on and all that shit. So yeah, it's actually a really fun exploitation movie, well worth checking out. It's definitely a more trashy blaxploitation film, but if you like trashy blaxploitation films, it's one of the better ones. The only other thing I'll mention, I watched Captain America: Brave New World, the latest MCU film. I torrented one of those like illegal copies where someone's like actually in the projection booth recording it with a camera that's set up perfectly, and they're like, plugged into the actual sound system that's playing the audio, so you get like pretty much perfect sound and everything. Not great, pretty mid, pretty safe for a Marvel movie. They don't. Again, here's another thing where it's like it's a film that should be talking about Black issues. Like, it should be talking about, hey, Black Captain America. That's an interesting idea, given the U.S. government's history of imperialism and racism, and what does it mean to be a Black Captain America, like existing under that system. And of course, it doesn't interrogate it at all. Really, it kind of plays it really, really safe. You got Harrison Ford taking over William Hurt's character of General Ross, because of course William Hurt died in 2022, I believe. And Harrison Ford's fine in it. Like, he's picking up a paycheck, but I'll say this for Harrison Ford: even when he's just like slumming it and picking up a paycheck, he still gives a pretty good performance. So he's pretty good in this. The less said about him turning into the Red Hulk, the better, though, because it's just, I don't know why the fuck the MCU has not caught on that their CGI is terrible. Like, they have just not been delivering for the longest time now with their CGI, and this stuff is worse than the CGI in She-Hulk. Like, it's really bad. The action scenes look terrible when there's like CGI shit going on. I think everyone else is pretty good in it. They got Giancarlo Esposito is in this, because of course he is. He's in everything now. He's like the new Christopher Walken, I guess, because he's an actor of gravitas, so put him in everything. But he's got kind of a thankless role, because he's just kind of wedged in as like, oh, here's the Serpent Society, something we've never referenced at all in any of the other movies as far as I can remember, but they're a thing now. And so yeah, okay. It's just it's not a great film, but I guess it's probably better than most of the stuff that has come out from the MCU in this like recent phase or whatever. So I mean, that's a super low bar, but it's watchable, and it's under 2 hours, which is probably the biggest selling point for this one. It's like, yeah, you can get in and get out, and it runs pretty smooth, pretty quick. It's okay, but I don't think it's going to sway any of the like incel weirdo nerds who are going to scream woke every time they see a black person on the screen, and they're not going to buy into Black Captain America no matter what. And the movie doesn't do anything to sway the more casual audience either into like, hey, here's our new Captain America, accept it. It's like, okay, it's fine, but it's not great.
I heard it sets a lot of stuff up though, as far as like what's to come.
A little bit. It kind of references some stuff that had been hanging a little bit for a while, like that Eternals movie that everyone wants to forget happened. It references the Celestial or whatever that came out of like the Indian Ocean. Like that's kind of the whole main thrust of the plot, is that like the MacGuffin there is that the Celestial is made out of adamantium. So like that's the new rare mineral, and all the different countries are like, we want to get a hold of that for its weapons and science and medical applications. So that's kind of like the whole main point of the story, is that they're all racing there to be the first to get it and shit. And so it does kind of reference a couple things and set up a couple things, but it's not, I wouldn't say it does that much. And of course it also does sort of pay off what's his fucking face, I can't remember, but the guy who's the leader, and he was in the Hulk movie,
oh yes,
yeah, so Tim
Blake Nelson, right?
Yes, Tim Blake Nelson. So it pays that off. He's finally the leader, and I know people are kind of like shitting on how he looks, because it's like all pretty much practical effects, and it kind of just looks like okay monster makeup. But I kind of dug that, like especially compared to the CGI in this film. I would have took fucking this Tim Blake Nelson stuff over that CGI anytime. Like it at the very, like, it looks like stuff I'm used to. It's like I've seen all the Toxic Avenger films, and it's better than that. So I'm okay with it. And Tim Blake Nelson's pretty cool as the leader too. Like he's actually an interesting villain. But
he's a great actor,
Yeah.
Nothing as ugly as that fucking MODOK in the Ant-Man movie.
Oh, that was terrible. Yeah, that's
pretty ugly.
I don't know why they didn't just get Patton Oswalt to do it.
Yeah, he's good at it. Yeah, for sure. Oh my gosh. What about you, Sue?
Well, I finally got around to watching Longlegs, and I have to admit, I was totally blown away by how good this movie was. It had every element that I could ever ask for in a movie. And I'm like, I have to admit, with Nick Cage doing all these terrible movies for a paycheck to pay off his debts, I'm not a Nick Cage person, but he managed to pull off just fucking insane in this movie. It also checked off. I'm sorry, every once in a while, just give me a little bit of gore. Actually, no, just give me a lot of gore. I've had a bad day. I want to see a ton of blood. I want to see heads bashed, brains on the wall, intestines splatting. I have days like this. This movie, I'm so completely impressed. I mean, they checked a bunch of the Silence the Lamb boxes, a little bit of the Will Graham and the weird connection and being able to get inside people's heads things.
Yeah.
And the cast was Alicia Witt. I was really surprised to see her in that role of all people.
Yeah, that's a pretty brave performance to like kind of put yourself out there like that. Very just like unappealing and like, yeah.
Yeah. And the other one anybody who'll listen to me about, it's one that's been on Shudder. It's called Oddity.
Yeah, that's a great film. I love that.
Well, I mean, it's an unused story. I mean, the Golem, come on, this goes back to, the Russian Civil War.
Yeah.
And it's barely been touched upon. I own the silent movie. There's a great book, I do believe it was like late 70s, early 80s, called The Tribe that Barry Wood wrote. that every couple of years I grab this book and read it because I find it fascinating. And once again, and it's very underscored. It's not, I hate jump scares. I can see a jump scare a mile away. They genuinely built up atmosphere, made you uncomfortable the whole time. And that is a rare quality in films lately.
Yeah, I agree. That was a really well done, and it just kind of sort of came out of nowhere. It's like, oh shit, what is this? And it.
Oh, I know. That's exactly it. And the other one, just for shits and giggles, I was in a truly terrible mood on Sunday, so my husband popped in The Thing. You can't be in a bad mood and watch The Thing. It's impossible. So I can't even count how many times I've seen The Thing since it was released. I really can't. But it was just kind of nice, just sometimes going back to it's a comfort movie for me.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much just that. There are bunches of little stuff, nothing, to be honest, worth mentioning unless, oh yes, I do have a non-recommendation. If you ever accidentally click this movie, do yourself a favor and shut it the fuck off. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Once again, it was Shudder. They mostly have hits. Every once in a while there's misses. I gotta build up this so I don't sound like an idiot. New bartender was working, and I'm like, hey, I'll be by my phone if you need anything. So I'm just trying to find something low-key enough that I'm not into if she calls. Unfriended dark web. Just this thing should be eradicated from all existence. If everybody had died in the first 3 minutes, it would have been a great movie. It is absolutely horrible. It's terribly made. And there's a couple of movies that kind of did this with the whole everybody's on FaceTime, and it worked, not perfectly, but enough that you're kind of into it. This is bloody fucking awful. It is, if I could score this, it would have to be like a negative 200. It is bad. Shudder, just take the fucking thing down. Make it go away. No one should ever watch this movie.
I definitely didn't like the first one, so it's like, yeah, I'm definitely never checking the next one out. So yeah.
Oh, the first one, once again, it was another one of those. It's just, for me, sometimes it's just background noise. The first one was literally when it was over, I'm like, did I watch a movie? I don't remember anything. So I don't know why I thought this was going to be any better. I didn't think it was going to be any better at all. I just needed something non-committal to have on in the background to stay awake.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty much where I'm at. And oh yay, it's Cactus League baseball, so I'm very happy.
Nice.
So that's pretty much, we're caught up.
Beautiful. Yeah, I got a series of new watches and rewatches that I'll talk about right now. Stuff I probably should have caught by now, and one of them is the History of Ungentlemanly Warfare. It's a long title for a film, but it's Guy Ritchie. It's a good time. Again, World War II is the theme of this episode. This has it in spades. It's a fun Guy Ritchie action movie, and Henry Cavill's in it. And I love when I see Carrie Elwes show up in something. And
yeah,
this is that Till Schweiger was in that movie too. I haven't seen that guy in forever and anything, but he's probably done like 10 things that I haven't seen though in probably the past 20 years. But I digress. This is a good time. Guy Ritchie does action films like this very well, and this is a big bombastic Nazi killing action movie, and if you can't appreciate that, then I don't know, man. It's just a good time.
Heard good things about that one. I keep hearing from people that I respect their opinion, saying, "Yeah, this is pretty good. Don't sleep on it." So,
I watched 2 Guy Ritchie movies because I forget the actor's name, and I should know this by now. The actor that played Hatchet Harry from Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels passed away. So I had to watch that movie at work one day, and this is the reason why I still call fucking Jason Statham bacon, to this day. Like, oh, Bacon's another action movie, guys. Check it out. And that's his character in that movie, and the dialogue is quick. I love the Rory Breaker character a lot in that movie, and the whole conversation with the weed dealers. The bag of fertilizer, the semi-conscious glory gag. It's just everything works for me in that movie. I just love it. Yeah. Another new watch that I should have watched by now. I watched Wicked because it was inevitable, and I watched Wicked a couple times. I forgot to mention it last time because this is a film that I really enjoyed. My mother, my sister, my aunties, they all saw the stage play, so eventually I was going to get to it, and I was meant to go to the movies to go see this, but I didn't. I really enjoyed it. I can't say I enjoyed the music, all of it, but I enjoy the idea of it, and Ariana Grande and I forget the other African American actress's name. I should know this. They mentioned her name like a bunch of times. But it's real fine. Michelle Yeoh is evil. There are flying monkeys in this movie eventually. She does defy gravity eventually, and I got really excited when it happened for some reason. Just something in my soul got really excited. I was like, wait, there's a broom. She's gonna fly now, and I got really excited. And yeah, and if you don't like it, that's fine. I just wish somebody would feed the Ariana Grande because I'm concerned for this woman and her health because she looks unhealthy as far as like that goes. And yeah, I don't know. It's strange.
Oh, I had 3 people gift me the book, and then at one point for my birthday or something, Pat's like, "Oh, would you like to go see it on stage?" I'm like, "No."
Yeah, I don't know if I ever watched that unless like my co-host Lady Lee somehow like tricks me into watching it,
and that's fine. It's just the Wizard of Oz, much like probably all of us. So we were brought up on. Yeah, just Judy Garland lived in my house for a while with that, and meet me in St. Louis and stuff like that. It just played in my house, so I had to see that. I'm sorry.
Oh no! When I was a kid, when the Wizard of Oz was on. This was back in the days of like 13 channels. Thank you, I'm old. It was an event. I have such fond memories of it. That, like I said, I couldn't get more than 100 pages into the book. All 3 copies. Thank you very much. It just, I don't know. It just didn't. It didn't have the magic for me.
Fair enough. One thing I'll mention is I've probably been watching more wrestling and listening to more podcasts than ever before because I could do both, really watch the wrestling and listen to podcasts at the same time. God bless multiple screens. It's not multiple screens. It's multitasking. And I will say one thing about the AEW product. I am enjoying the smaller stadiums that they're going into because the crowd is louder. And they replaced Mercedes Moné with a puppet. And if they replaced more folks with puppets, I think I would be much more happy as a wrestling fan because Harley Cameron is really working it with that Mercedes Moné Muppet. And if I had a John Moxley Muppet where they would just show the Muppet and not him talking, I think I would be enjoying that a lot more, the product, because I'm getting really sick of the Death Riders. But I'll watch it because Will Ospreay's on there, so I'll watch it. So
I'd enjoy it if Tony Khan actually hired people who actually know wrestling and know how to book. That'd be great.
Yeah.
And also, the thing is, like, I will say, I don't really watch AEW. I kind of checked out like after kind of like the first year or so because it's just like not for me, dog. But had they started out in smaller venues and like built themselves up instead of trying to pretend they were a national promotion right out of the gate, they probably would have fared a lot better. But just because Tony Khan has billions of dollars behind him, he decides I'm gonna throw money at big buildings, and then after a while, you can't fill those buildings anymore, and your product on TV looks like dog shit. You got no one to blame but yourself, and he is the central problem of that promotion. If he could let people who actually know wrestling do a bunch of the work instead of him just blitzed out on cocaine doing everything. He might find himself enjoying the whole thing a lot more. Just putting it out there, and the people watching would definitely probably enjoy it a lot more.
And when he comes out, he should come out as a Muppet and just do some Muppet talking to the Tony Khan.
I mean,
Muppet,
if they had debuted a Mercedes Monet Muppet from the get-go and just never hired her to the roster, they would have saved themselves a lot of money.
Man, well, they'd have to give her something because of the likeness rights or whatnot. But
yeah,
the Harley halftime show does it for me. I don't know what it is, yeah. But we are here tonight to talk about two films in which Nazis are seeking treasure, and of course, people are going to foil their plans. And we're doing that with Monuments Men from 2014, and what I've never seen until this show. And I'm excited to talk about the crazy sexism of it all. 1987's Jane and the Lost City. Yeah. Let's get to the prestige picture first. I think that's the best plan.
So Jane and the Lost City.
Yes, indeed. But no, the other one.
Okay.
The Monuments from 2014.
Want to get into the war?
Monuments Men.
I'm to put a team together and do our best to protect buildings, bridges, and art before the Nazis destroy everything.
How many men?
6.
Jesus.
Well, with you at 7.
That's much better.
So you want to go into a war zone with some architects and artists and tell our boys what they can and cannot blow up.
That's right.
Aren't we a little old for that?
Yes. We go through basic, and then we wait for orders.
Basic?
Little help.
Basic training. Oh, boy.
If you destroy an entire generation of people's culture, it's as if they never existed.
We got company.
Frank, we gotta go!
That's what Hitler wants. And it's the one thing we can't allow.
So we get to shoot some Nazis?
It's your responsibility now.
I've never shot at anyone before.
He really wanted it all.
And we better get it back.
What have you got? I seem to have stepped on a landmine.
Why would you do something like that?
What do you got?
Lieutenant here seems to have found himself on top of an unexploded mine.
Why would you do that?
You all been spending too much time together.
The Monuments Men from 2014. Your chief of plot synopsis is an unlikely World War II platoon is tasked to rescue art masterpieces from German thieves and return them to their owners. This is written, directed, and starring George Clooney. Matt Damon is in this film as James Granger. Bill Murray's in this film as Richard Campbell. Kate Blanchett as Claire Simone. John Goodman as Walter Garfield. Jean Jardin as Jean-Claude Claremont. Hugh Bonneville as Donald Jeffries. The phenomenal Bob Balaban. I can't praise this guy enough in anything.
Yeah.
As Preston Seth. Yes, indeed. But yeah, this is a film that, I should have liked upon its release. And I'm sure we'll get into why I still think it's kind of subpar. And I'll start there with Suzanne. Suzanne, what did you think of Monuments Men?
Okay, well, I'm going to preface this just a touch. Okay, I tried to watch this when it came out like 3 times. I was out cold within 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I will admit, it's very, very dry. But I actually started doing a little, before I watched it, because I remember watching this. I used to have a channel, and they used to do like 3 days a week this thing on art heists and stolen art. Absolutely fascinating. Can't remember the name of it. Don't know where it is. But they did one on, and they even briefly mentioned it in the movie last night, the Klimt pieces. The girl with the golden something. there were several. It was just gold was the main color, but just very, very beautiful pieces. And I just got kind of mentioned, which brought it all back last night. So I know a little bit about the backstory and the stolen art, the destroyed art, which is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
This movie is good in pieces. There are portions of it that are just really interesting, pull your attention in. Then we go to parts where it's just, I can't really put my finger. It's boring. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
It could have possibly, maybe 15 minutes trimmed off, but there are just parts of this movie that just, with the goal of the story, just are just extraneous pieces that don't need to be there. But I do want to step into the cast. You do have an amazing cast here. Mm-hmm. I'm not a huge Cate Blanchett fan. She's very good in some things, and I find her uppity. And she just kind of, most movies I see her in, she just puts off that uppity vibe. Mm-hmm. Though it works in this one. Matt Damon, I have to admit, he was probably one of the best characters in this movie. And I love Bob Balaban in an unnatural way, because the man, he's great at so many things. He's a great director. He's a great actor, but he's got this, I will put my nose to the grindstone and make everybody awkward while I'm doing it. And he pulls this off just stunningly. Bill Murray, just for me, I think he was almost throwaway. You could have put anybody in that part. There was nothing about it that made it Bill Murray. I could be out of line, but, we'll see. And the same thing, once again, John Goodman, for me, stole a lot of scenes. He just had that kind of demeanor about him. But for the most part, it's a decent movie. It's definitely worth a view. It may take you a few times because it takes so long to get off the ground. And that's my biggest fallback with this movie, is it's paced terribly. That all of the things that are good about it just kind of get lost in the mix, because it's like, okay, we're here, people are shooting each other, nothing for a very long time. And you're into it, and then they took all of the wind out of your sails, because it just, for me, like I said, this movie falls apart with pacing. I enjoyed it when I finally was able to stay awake for it, but it's not put together well. It really isn't. There may be a few other points you both have that can extrapolate on a little bit, but this movie, for being good, it has a lot of issues. So I will let whoever wants to go next take it away.
Yeah, go for it, Lee.
This is my second watch of this film. Back when I watched it in 2014, I was just kind of meh on it. I was just like, okay, it's George Clooney. He generally produces really good stuff. He's got an amazing cast, like from top to bottom, just like a crazy fucking cast. And he's kind of the guy who has the kind of clout, at least at that time, where he could put together a great cast. And Clooney was putting out some bangers of fucking films around that time too. He had a good track record. And this is a great story. Like, this is a great real life story that is worth fucking reading about and reading about the real people behind it, because nobody in the other than like Winston Churchill in the cast and maybe a couple other people are not like, none of these people are real people. They're all like combinations or based on kind of things of like the real people that were in this unit. Like there was like over 300 volunteers, both men and women, that were sort of part of this thing to save stolen art and preserve art that the Nazis were either stealing or destroying. And this is kind of where this film falls apart. And I totally agree with Suzanne here. It's a major pacing issue because Clooney makes the mistake of trying to cover a little bit of everything when he should have been really just focusing on a couple people and like making it a men on a mission film. And a good men on a mission film, you got your team together throughout the entire film for the most part, where you're following that unit through the whole thing. Like, be it fucking Kelly's Heroes to Saving Private Ryan, you're following the same group of guys pretty much throughout the whole thing. Maybe a couple of them split off once in a while, but for the most part, they're a cohesive group. Here, the movie jumps back and forth between pairs of people everywhere, and you don't really get to know the characters well enough, and you don't really get to like invest in them. I found personally, and tonally, the film is just totally off. It wants to give you this jaunty, comedic, almost kind of score behind everything, and present like comedic moments, but it also wants to do the thing that every movie since Saving Private Ryan does, and like we got to be more fact-based about the horrors of war. We've got to be more realistic. And when that brushes up against the kind of comedy stuff that they're doing in this, which is, and this is another thing about Clooney, he's a very old school kind of guy when it comes to his Hollywood stuff in the movies he likes. A lot of the people in this are doing stuff that you would see like the Rat Pack doing in movies back in the day, where they'd have like a comedic charm thing going on, and like any of the serious stuff would be a lot more toned down. But here the serious stuff is toned up quite a bit, and it's brushing up against the comedy, and the comedy feels outdated and wrong when like smashing up against the horrors of war that are presented in this film. And so there's a tonal balance here that's off. There's just a fucking episodic weirdness to this that makes it hard to connect everything going on. If Clooney had managed to like just narrow this down to like a group of like say 5 people in a squad together doing the thing, that would be much more interesting. Because this, if you look into the history of this stuff, like Clooney gets a lot of shit wrong, and like I mean I don't feel like he was doing it wrong because he was stupid about this shit. He's intentionally changing the facts of this shit. He's changing the names of everybody. He's changing what happened and what happened when and how. So why not just do that in the context of like a really solid men on a mission film with like a group of like 5 to 10 people all together going straight through the thing, instead of like trying to split everybody apart and just fucking this whole thing up. Yeah, it's just a really hard watch. On the second watch, I kind of hated this film. I was getting to the end of it. I was like, can we just get on with this? I mean, it picks up a little bit at the end, but for the most part, I was just like, these people are wasted. Like, these actors are all really good. Speaking to what Suzanne was saying about Bill Murray, around this time, he's got that clout of like, I've been in a bunch of Wes Anderson films, so I can just walk onto a film and say some bullshit and everyone's going to love it. And it's like, it doesn't really work in this film. Like, if anything, Bob Balaban's carrying his ass in this film. And Bob Balaban's actually the best thing in this film, as far as I'm concerned. I enjoyed him because he's in a different movie. It's enjoyable to see him just in a different movie. And I kind of hated this movie on the second watch. I was just like, it's because it's so much talent and just so much wasted potential, and just bad decisions that kind of like it kind of irked me the wrong way this time watching it.
I mean, you guys are all right about everything. I mean, but you mentioned Kelly's Heroes. This should have been your modern day Kelly's Heroes.
Yes,
in my opinion, if they were all together. But like you said, but you have to sound like a European scale to where they have to be in different places to get different things. you split up these 6 or 8 these 8 people, I think, altogether. You know, there should have been a much larger scale in their search for these the stolen art. Yeah, I would love to read the actual story of all this too, just to get a little insight about what actually happened.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the big problems with this film is that you have a great cast that's very capable of making a good movie, and there's a lot of tragedy in this film, but there's not so much. I don't want to say make it fun, but that's a good thing. That's what was the medium that made Kelly's Heroes work so well, is that there was a serious situation going on there, but I'm not saying throw a oddball in there, throw
No.
Donald Sutherland in there to lighten the mood, but make it. I hate that you got to go back to Clooney and Matt Damon. Make it more like Ocean's 11 in a way, just to say, hey, let's take this serious war movie, that we're trying to make, and add some fun into there, because anytime Bob Balaban's on screen with somebody, I mean, there's the part where they get he gets busted outside, he gets taken a piss, but there's a Nazi soldier there. That part with him and Janet Goodman is fucking gold. The part with him and where him and Bill Murray go off alone is gold. There needs to be more of that.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right. Like, Clooney's obviously trying for the sort of Ocean's 11 formula, like kind of stuck into this Men on a Mission film, but he just doesn't nail it. Like it doesn't connect. And he's also like, he seems really concerned about making America the heroes and like kind of whitewashing a lot of just like any of the bad things America might have done during the war. Like it's a real American exceptionalism kind of narrative going on. So that also kind of, especially these days, not to, company excluded in this call, but the Americans are not necessarily putting their best foot forward these days in the world stage. So like watching this movie kind of like really, it's a real stinker when it comes to that shit. It's just like, oh, bad taste in the mouth.
No, the way that he split them up, it's almost, I think he even says serial.
Mm-hmm.
And present it, I mean, and for me, the problem there is the flow. The flow is broken when you're jumping between what every pair is doing. Yeah. And it takes you out, because you're like, oh, wait, what? Okay, how did I get here? There was really no step. You're just there. I don't need to be spoon-fed, but if you're going to cut to that, it needs to make sense.
And it feels like it cuts like some of the, when he's going for the serious stuff where he's like, oh, one of our characters dies or something, and that should be a really serious moment. It feels like it undercuts it because we're immediately moving on to something else almost right afterwards. And
I know, when he's there holding his chest and we just jump to the next, instead of like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
This is a powerful moment that you've just squandered.
Mm-hmm.
It's the presentation.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead. I'm done.
No, you get more time with Bill Murray, when he gets the record or whatever he gets from his family. And I think it's a real nice moment of the film to where, we get a phonograph and they play the recording, and it's a nice Christmassy moment and a nice emotional moment for Bill Murray. Which I'm enjoying this Renaissance to Bill Murray, because people like suck off Groundhog Day, and I've seen it. I've seen it for the first time this year, and I'm still not incredibly all the way through. And I'm still not incredibly impressed with all of it, but with the exception of like Stripes and Ghostbusters, I prefer the dramatic, Bill Murray more than the other one at this point.
Don't get me wrong. Like I love Bill Murray, and I think a lot of the stuff he's been doing in the last 20, 30 years has been really great. I just feel like the kind of stuff he's known for doing, like the kind of Wes Anderson stuff, doesn't really fit this film. Yeah. Like Like if you want to do charm and comedy in a film like this, where you're trying to be more serious at the same time, and you're like, you're trying to present an interesting, serious story. Unless you're going full on comedy, in that case, yes, have Bill Murray do the shit he's doing in this film. But if you're not going to do that, then you go for more of the sort of charismatic charm that you get from like a Tom Hanks in Saving Private Ryan. There's funny moments in Saving Private Ryan. There's charming moments in that film between the characters as you're, like trying to crack jokes under the horrors of this fucking mission they're undertaking when they should be going the fuck home, but they're going to like find fucking Matt Damon's fucking ass. And that kind of resonates, and that's powerful stuff. But here it's just like, oh, it's Bill Murray. He's doing his Wes Anderson thing in this movie, and it's like really bumping up against the seriousness and like the emotional thing here, and the like we're saving art and all that stuff. Like it just doesn't vibe with it for me personally. I just felt like it was a real juxtaposition that didn't work.
Well, there are a few scenes that should have carried a lot more weight. And the one we just discussed, when he is shot in the chest, he's going to die. And the fast cut away from that, this is a powerful moment. This is an important moment. The other one that bothered me was it didn't have to be long. It just needed to be proper when he finally sees the Rembrandt that his grandfather would never let him see.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, this is a really important moment for this character, actually just seeing it. And it's just it's not treated well. And then with the rings in the teeth, you're almost there with that scene. You're almost there. They see the teeth, the rings, the horror of that, and they missed it.
Yeah.
But these are important parts, and you're right. It should have been pick a line for the group to work together, but they tried to cover everything and spread everything too thin.
Yeah.
And I can't say in proper hands it would have been treated any better, but maybe somebody could have found, a common thread to, get as much of the information, flesh out, the composite characters a little bit, but none of this was done.
Yeah. I mean, the way he mixes and matches like real people and changes names and stuff, like you can form, if you're going to do that, okay, that's cool. Based on a true story, that's fine. You can assemble your team of these fictional, based on true people characters, and you can still kind of follow the general narrative of what actually happened in real life, and you can make a men on a mission story out of it. But when you're just like, you're trying to cover everything, it's just, you can't do it, because this was such a major operation. Like there was a lot going on, a lot happened in this story.
Yeah.
And you're just, in this movie is like 2 hours, but you're still not covering it. You're not even scratching the surface really. So it's better just to have like a solid unit of guys that you get to know. You set it up at the beginning, like, yes, this is a big undertaking. This is just one group and like a massive undertaking to like save this art. And you follow their one mission. So the setup, other stuff is going on. You can maybe hear about it here and there as it's going on or whatever. And then at the end, maybe you get like a little text thing saying, also these people saved this and this kind of thing at the end. But you should just be following this core group on a mission. A men on a mission thing is a thing people understand. It's an easy story to do. It's a smart story to do cinematically. And the fact that Clooney didn't do it, especially when he's like trying to put like Ocean's 11 kind of stuff into this fucking thing, which is all about a group of people doing a fucking thing. Why can't you do that?
Yeah.
I mean, they took the brand new Ocean's 11. They took that thing, from the 60s, where you had these men on a mission things, and they all it's almost like a spy thing. They all have their own speciality. one guy's good at the computers. One guy's, you got the Asian guy that can get into small spaces and is agile. All these people had a purpose. I mean, all these guys together in here, like I said, they broke them up. You really get to learn how they would work together, and it just doesn't work.
But none of them are actually really soldiers. This is why I find the concept, and the more I think about it, the more it annoys me.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they were, but they weren't. They weren't, battle-tested soldiers.
Yeah.
And then they're out on their own in pairs. Come on.
Yeah, which is just like, okay, that's
completely unbelievable. They would be dead in 24 hours.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. I'll kick it this way to the other you want to say about Monuments Men.
If this was a first time watch, this would be on my worst of first time watches this year, because the second go around, I just found everything I missed. I must have watched. I think when the first time I watched this, I was like Suzanne. I was kind of sleeping through it because it takes so long to get going. So I just kind of like, it's mid. I'll give it 2.5 stars on Letterboxd or whatever. Now it wouldn't be getting any stars. I kind of actively hate this movie. I think it's just the talent involved dropping the ball this hard is insulting to the viewer. Like it's probably the worst thing Clooney's ever done, and that's including Return of the Killer Tomatoes. So, so there you go.
Hey, at least he's having fun in that movie. I will say that.
Yeah, at least he gets to roll around with Terry Weigel in her underwear on a bed for a scene. Yeah.
Suzanne.
Except for me, finally sitting and watching it, and for me, it's wasted potential. There is so many portions of this movie that could be so very, very good with the caliber of talent involved. But he just didn't even deftly turn it into vignettes. It just bothers me that this is such a powerful story, and yet it's completely mishandled. It's like he's trying to get everybody as much screen time as possible without pulling the common thread through.
Yep.
It pisses me off because this should be amazing. It should be amazing. I'm disappointed. I'm at I'll give it 0.5 star because Bob Balaban is amazing.
He is.
Yeah, protect Bob Balaban. He's a treasure, is all I'll say about that one.
Mm-hmm.
And, yes, indeed. I think it said so much in a lot of movies. In the proper hands, this film could have really been something. And I hate to say that about Clooney because he's made some good stuff over the years. It's just I think he was really reaching for something. I'm not even gonna say that wasn't there. It was there, but you needed to make it more like Kelly's Heroes to match your fucking. And I forgot to mention how stupid the jaunty score was that didn't match the movie in this movie too.
Ugh, it's terrible.
Oh God,
just didn't match the movie. But
it's playing that jaunty score while John Goodman and what's his face are being shot at by that fucking Nazi youth soldier in the fucking building. Like what?
There's another moment that it's like Full Metal Jacket when they realize they finally go up. It's that girl.
Yeah.
This is completely the horrors of war, and yet they're trying to make you laugh about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised John Goodman didn't grab him and spank him.
Like the only honestly, I think the only real human moment that kind of works in this film for the most part is when Bill Murray and Bob Balaban are sitting down with that young kid who had the gun on Balaban, and they just share a smoke and then go their separate ways.
Yeah,
like that's a good little moment. I mean, and it's like what film is that? What film is that from? Where's the film that's from? I want to see that film.
Exactly.
I mean, you mentioned Wes Anderson. I mean, give this to Wes Anderson. See what he'll do with the material. I would love to see that, or or the fucking Coen brothers or something. Anybody else? But,
they would focus in one direction, right?
Yes, indeed. And this is all over the place, unfortunately. And I like I said, this is a film that I should have liked it upon its release. And I thought maybe it was just the frame of mind I was in to say, hey, I didn't like this so much. So I said, hey, I'm going to watch it again. And now we're going to do it on the show to see what you guys think, because I was really confused by my by my thoughts of the film. And like I said, this is a cast that should have worked. It should have worked. And it plays a lot of tragedy here, but the tragedy is justified, just not executed very well. It needed to be more fun and more serious when it needed to be serious. And you get a big mention of, I'd like to say this one that died and that one died, but you did it for the art. Was it worth it? Blah blah blah. And it'll say, yes, it was. Yada yada yada. Who gives a shit at that point? It just you didn't make them care about it. I mean, it's like people try to compare the Dawn of the Dead remake to the original one. While both are good films, the first version of Dawn of the Dead makes you concentrate and makes you care about those four characters. Yeah. I mean, this one has like 8 characters, so it shouldn't have been that hard for it to build devastation when one of them dies.
I mean, they did it with the Dirty Dozen, for fuck's sakes, and there was a dozen of those.
Oh God, the Dirty Dozen is almost perfect. I love the wild geese.
Yes,
once again,
the wild geese, the fucking
even the second one, the standout person one.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, once again, you have an amazing ensemble cast, and you mentioned it several times. Men on a mission. This works. There's a reason this works. There's a reason it still works.
Yep. Also, just got to point out that the guy they got to be the old George Clooney is with his son at the end. Man, does he not match up?
Oh God, no.
I'm sorry, George Clooney. You cannot make him look like a regular person. He's a beautiful man, and if you're gonna give me this guy who looks like, I don't know, like a busted ass fucking Skid Row bum in the 70s, I'm sorry, don't work, bro. I was like, oh, that's supposed to be George Clooney? Okay, that makes no sense. Like George Clooney, you don't have to have modesty. You can find somebody who looks really good and just have you looking good in your 70s, because you're gonna look good in your 70s. Let's face it, you're almost there, if not there already. So
no, if he's in his 60s,
yeah.
So yeah, and he's still, I'm sure a lot of people would go hop on that. I'm not gonna say I'm not one of them either.
I mean, him and Brad Pitt just did a movie together. What, Wolves or something it was called, and I think it got buried, but they're still looking good. Pitt's in his like late 50s, and he looks like he's 30. So for fuck's sakes, let's not kid anybody here.
Yeah, I know they are very pretty men. But can we just can Tom Cruise just fucking spontaneously combust or something? Because I cannot stand him.
He probably will at some point.
He's a vampire. There's something wrong with his face.
I want to make a statement, okay? Last time I was at Suzanne's house, I made her watch Rock of Ages. She enjoyed that shit, okay? That's all I'll say about that,
Well, I was getting like my 80s hair metal on. Come on, man.
She can dig the bullshit artifice of 80s hair metal and ignore the bullshit artifice of Tom Cruise.
Yes. I have 2 brain cells to rub together. No.
So the end of this day is Clooney's a pretty dreamy man, and Bob Balaban needs to be protected.
Yes.
No, he should be protected like an endangered species.
Yes, he needs. Bob Balaban's one of those dudes who needs to die at like age 112, surrounded by friends and family,
and a 20-year-old wife, because he deserves it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where we'll land on this one. It's not a recommend by any of us, but make your own decision, I guess.
Yeah. Have fun, sucker.
Man. But speaking of suckers, man, and inappropriate indigenous people, but we're going to talk about the next film after the break here, Chained in the Lost City from 1987, right after this trailer.
The Lost Ark. The Doomed Temple. The Restless Natives. The Dashing Soldier of Fortune. The plucky heroine who's ready for anything. And the friendly little monkeys are all back together again. And you're in for an epic, gigantic, really huge event.
That is a big one.
You ain't seen nothing yet, baby.
When you join the search for the Lost City.
Where is the Lost City?
The Lost City.
The Lost City.
What do you know about this Lost City?
Which one, sir?
It's remarkable courage.
Bring out your bravest warrior.
Against unspeakable evil.
A whole week and we haven't tortured anyone.
It's deadly encounters.
Look out!
Compromising positions.
Made it.
Pagan rites.
Careful, Jan. Don't annoy them.
I think I like the way he said that.
Featuring the Queen from African Queen.
Oh! Jolly glad I didn't meet you on the hockey field.
The Tango from Last Tango. And the Crack from Krakatoa east of Java.
Oh, God, that's all we need.
Starring Sam Jones as the unbeatable Jack.
Well, folks, I think we're in trouble.
Maud Adams as Lola Pagola.
Hands up, all of you!
And Kirsten Hughes as the ever-resourceful Jane. In the smashing adventure epic that doesn't take itself too seriously. Jane and the Lost City.
Jane and the Lost City from 1987. Your Chiba plot synopsis is this. Jane and the Colonel must travel to Africa to the Lost City to retrieve the diamonds before the Germans do. Based on the classic adult UK comic strip Jane, especially popular during World War II for its strong pin-up elements. This is directed by Terry Marcel, who gave us some interesting genre stuff, I'd say. Prisoners of the Lost Universe, starring the great Richard Hatch from Battlestar Galactica. Hawk the Slayer, which is entertaining, sort of sandal fare. Yeah, that's about the height of what I enjoy that he did. I explore
a lot of other TV
stuff.
other than that, right?
Yeah, a lot of TV, but those two are pretty good. And I don't hate this movie for spoilers. You know, he also helped write the film as well. The stars Sam J. Jones himself, Mr. Flash Gordon, as Jungle Jack Buck. Octopus herself, Maud Adams, as Fraulein Lola Pagola. My favorite character of the whole film, Jasper Carrot plays Heinrich times 3 because he plays all his brothers too.
Yeah.
Kirsten Hughes as Jane. Graham Stark, who is featured in a bunch of Pink Panther films I have not seen. It's a real blind spot for me, those Pink Panther films. Robin Bailey as the Colonel. Ian Roberts, classic meathead, as Carl, the Enforcer. Elsa O'Toole as the Leopard Queen. John Rapley as Dr. Shell, who I'm going to look right now and tell you what I've seen in a minute. I've seen his face in at least 6 things. You know,
is this the guy that could easily been Donald Pleasance?
Yes, that guy.
Yeah.
No, you know what it is? He looks like a bootleg Ed Wynn. That's why he looks familiar to me. Because I can't see anything that he's been in, but I've seen Ed Wynn in a whole bunch of things. So maybe that's like my brain's clouded there in a way. Yeah, but this is a real simple story about again, it follows the formula of this group that's trying to beat the Nazis to these diamonds in a very African lost city, and comic prep balls and clothes come off for no reason and all. I can't stop laughing. I'll kick it to Lee first. Jane and the Lost City from 1987. What are your thoughts on it, sir?
I had a lot more fun with this than Monuments Men, that's for sure. I had seen bits and pieces of this growing up, so probably explains some of my fetishes, especially when it comes to clothes ripping off of people, of the female persuasion. This is very Carry On or Benny Hill in a lot of its presentation, if you're familiar with that kind of stuff from British humor of like, hey, sexy lady loses her clothes, like very much the same kind of sort of tradition of that. I mean, honestly, you know, it precedes Carry On in Benny Hill because, of course, this is based on the Norman Pett comic strip series, I should say, from the 30s that got really popular, as you said, Gary, during World War II for its pinup elements, which is true. Like it was very much a like serialized female spy thing, but with the sexy pinup elements to it was kind of what it was. It was very parody, very much a parody of like pulp stories is what it was. And this is very much a parody of the Indiana Jones stuff that was out. Like, there's all kinds of rip-off Indiana Jones stuff, and this is very much more of a parody of that kind of stuff. It feels like the gods must be crazy to some extent, but not as zany as that film is, not as slapstick, I'd say. But it's very light and breezy. When we get into it, I'll talk about some of the things I didn't like about it, and I think they could have improved. But like, it's an enjoyable watch, and like, I think the entire cast is really good. I think I feel like Sam Jones, he kind of, whatever disagreement he got in with Dino De Laurentiis on Flash Gordon kind of fucked his career, because he's kind of too good for this material, I feel like. But he seems like he's having fun with it. It feels like everyone's kind of having fun with this. It's kind of unfortunate that Kristen Hughes is like fourth billed here, but I mean, when you, especially behind Jasper Carrot, which I really don't get. Sure, Jasper Carrot was like a known comedian at the time, but I mean, Kristen Hughes is supposed to be your star. The movie is named after her, so at least have her second billed or something. Honestly, Maude Adams should be billed above fucking Sam Jones in this when you think about it. But yeah, no, it's goofy, it's dumb. There's if you're going to be like a nitpicker and like get into like issues of like feminism and racism and stuff, then if you're going to be one of those people going after this kind of material, maybe you got too much time on your hands. Because yeah, it's not good on those things, but it's not pretending to be. It's very stupid and hard to take serious. So, but I'll pass over to Suzanne, and when we get to the deeper conversation on some of this stuff, then I'll bring it up. But yeah,
Okay. No, for it, I agree. I had never even heard of this movie until Gary's like, "Oh yeah, we're watching this." I'm like, "What the fuck?" So, well, I also had fun. I watched it on Amazon, and thank God for those commercials every 5 minutes. But this is just me bitching about the commercial, but it really wasn't that bad. It's light, it's slapsticky. It's not like when I first glanced at it, I'm like, oh God, it's gonna be like tits and ass everywhere. But it was more like is the comic, which I actually had to go read about. It just a girl in satin underwear.
Mm-hmm.
Big deal. It is cute, and well, I can look at Sam Jones all day, every day till the day I die. he could play the part mute, and I really wouldn't care. I was just bummed he didn't have his shirt off more. Wow, who is this? That's his here. But yeah, it's a cute little movie. I love the Leopard Queen. The Leopard Queen is my favorite part of this movie. I just loved her. It added a lightness, and once again, the whole thing is light. And Maude Adams, which I remember her as a Bond girl.
Yeah.
I remember her in a few other smaller roles. I don't remember her being that huge of an actress. But that's kind of neither here nor there. I have to admit, it's a fun little light slapsticky. Girl loses her clothes quite a bit, but not in the nasty way.
Yeah, it could have been. It definitely doesn't feel like one of the more like sleazy, leering like sex comedies of the time, right?
Oh yeah, exactly. And you could almost see that they were trying to lean into that a little bit, but I'm glad they kept it more on the PG side, because to be honest, it's just a cute little movie. Mm-hmm. It really is. It's cute. And the scene on the boat with the first assassin brother, I was laughing my ass off every time she would smash him in the face with the door, down with the anchor. And the only thing that bugged me, I'm like watching the dog. I'm like, nothing better happened to that dog. I'm gonna be real pissed off here if anything happens to the dog. But it's a cute little movie. It's literally M&Ms. There's no nutritional value here whatsoever, but it's fun. I really, is it well made? No.
That's cheap.
Completely cheap as fuck. But it's just an enjoyable ride. It doesn't outstay its welcome. The story, finding the big diamond from the lost city, but it's like almost, I don't know if it's more of a MacGuffin or a red herring, because we never get there. Oh wait, we do get there.
Well, yeah,
but
MacGuffin is what it really is.
Yeah, it's not like the torn curtain where they're talking about military secrets and you never know what they are.
No.
You know? But it's not a great movie, but at least it's enjoyable. You've got a completely just base set of characters that do a good job. You've got, the blonde, you've got the jungle man, you've got the colonel, his manservant, you've got the evil Nazis doing evil Nazi things. It's, once again, straight up composites again of just basic characters, but they all seem to work together well. Yep. It's not great, but it's fun. Give me fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for me, much unlike the last film, this is a film that knows just what it is. It's like Suzanne says from Jump. You get some slapsticky shit on the boat, and this guy who's clearly falling into a swimming pool. Both the first two times he falls, he's falling into the swimming pool. And you know what? I don't care. I don't care if it looks like he's falling into a pool. It's just, it's fun. That's the kind of humor. This is the kind of humor that Gary likes. When somebody is trying to grasp onto the ledge or something, and somebody steps on their fingers and they fall again. I'm going to laugh the first time.
She closed the porthole on his fingers.
Yeah, I'm going to laugh third time too. Because let me tell you, those jokes work for me. As a film itself, I didn't look at a budget or anything, but I'm sure the budget was very small. It was filmed on location, and
I couldn't find like any budget or box office for this. So but I mean, it had to be made for like way less than $5 million. It's very cheap for 1987, and
it's a straight to video production.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a new world joint site. I knew going in it wasn't going to be very, very, impressive with, anything really. But
the BB series that they did, it's based on the comic strip, but then they made a movie in 1949. I've never seen that. I'm kind of actually interested in seeing that movie. But then they did the BB series in the 80s. They did 2 seasons of it in 1982 and 1984. And they're very cheaply done. They're like live action, put in with like comic book panels and stuff like that. It's actually kind of interesting. It's more than what you would expect from the BBC at the time, but at the same time, it's like the way they did it. They obviously did it to save a lot of money, and they obviously didn't spend a lot of money on this either. So
I thought Sam Jones was real fine as your meathead jungle man. Just helping bring that freaking humor along with his open shirt and being your you're listening. See
that big knife he's got. Yep.
Oh yeah. Me, Jane.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Fine man, you can do there indeed. But I enjoy the locations of this. They filmed the location wherever this country is. Is this in Africa? This country,
Yeah, I think it's in Africa. I can't pronounce it, but they did kind of shoot on location kind of thing, and it shows. I assume this is a British production or whatever, and usually they get their production value pretty well, even when they're doing cheap shit. Like they usually know how to like get blood out of a stone, so to speak, with their production values. So you can see it here. It looks pretty much as good as any of the other cheap stuff around this period of time. Like what's the one we did, Gary, with Chuck Norris and Louis Gossett Jr., Firewalker or whatever the fuck it was.
Firewalker.
Yeah. It doesn't look any worse than Firewalker, I don't think.
I'd say I had more fun with this than Firewalker, and I really like Firewalker. It just it's almost like Firewalker. So Firewalker did wrong for me was it tried to implement humor in there in the wrong spots.
Well, yeah, and, Chuck Norris can't do jokes. That's the thing, because he can't do anything other than he can hit people, and that's it. But here, everybody is like really good. The entire cast is like funny.
I mean, and I don't know if it's intentional or they just work comically well together. But it's I don't want to say, maybe charming is the word.
Yeah.
It's just a cute little funny movie. I don't know if some spots are intentionally, but there's it's just fun.
Yeah, it's like, and we're like, it's super light. Like, it's not even as sleazy as like Benny Hill is, and Benny Hill's not really all that sleazy, but it's way sleazier than this. And the Carry On films are even way sleazier than this, and some of them. Like, this is very like just light cheesecakey kind of stuff where it's like, oh, her dress came off, but it's not like presented in a way necessarily where the guys are like, even the men in the cast are not necessarily drooling over her. Like, she's presented in awkward positions for like the viewer to watch and go, oh, that's kind of hot. But the men in the cast are actually like, please get her a jacket, and and stuff like that. I think the only character really who kind of really comments on Jane whenever she's undressed is the Toombs character, who's like, yes, I think I'll go over to the car now, please. Like, obviously insinuating he's going to jack off because you just saw fucking Jane with her dress ripped off or whatever, right? But everyone else is kind of like, oh, that poor woman, please get her a jacket.
It's downplayed completely. Like I said, it's not. And you're right. It's more cheesecake than anything else.
Yeah.
Away from me.
Honestly, I watched some of the episodes of the BBC thing, and some of those are way more leering and tawdry than this movie is. Like, this is very light, even compared to the source material. So.
Yeah, they just have like that one moment like that to where they're trapped in the tomb where the diamonds are. The Nazis have stole the diamonds, and the queen, what was she? The queen of
the leopard queen.
Yeah,
leopard queen figures out, hey, my mother never wanted to be trapped in a place like this. Let me find her exit. So of course this is just enough room for the girls to get through, and she can see their underpants, as they crawl through this hole. And the fellas stop a minute to look at it. That's like the really only moment of like, hey, let's exploit these women for no reason at all, just by taking these long shots of their undies. That's really about it.
But they played it off like nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for the time period, they're because this is a period picture, but it's presented in the 80s. The underwear they're wearing is like, not like, it's pretty much like granny panties in comparison to what you're seeing in most contemporary stuff around this time. It's definitely not anything you're seeing in sex comedies of this sort of decade. They're wearing like this. I happen to like frilly underwear and garters and stuff, so I'm like, okay, I'm cool with it. But like, most people aren't watching movies with stuff like that in it anymore at this point. Like, we're getting into thong territory. We're getting into smaller panties. Even the fucking Gods Must Be Crazy films, they're wearing pretty skimpy like underwear when the scenes happen where the female characters like getting her dress pulled off or up or whatever, kind of thing. So,
I mean, my God, I think you see skimpier stuff on an episode of Friends.
I think you'd see skimp your stuff in an episode of like Married with Children around this time too, right? Like,
Yeah, it's so, like I said, for me. I was not. I mean, I've seen. Trust me, I could write a book on all of the exploitation movies I've seen. It's so, like I said, lighthearted. It's not. No one's leering all that hard, and if they are leering, they leer for about 30 seconds. They're reprimanded, and they look away. Done.
And even the race stuff in this, where we have a bunch of savages, quote unquote, coming after them several times. Like, there's a conversation in this between the Colonel and Toombs, where like Toombs is like, "This place is not fit for a white man; it's fit for the black savages and stuff." And the Colonel basically lambasts him, says, "Like, stop being a racist dick." Like, fuck.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely a lot more, I guess, socially acceptable than anything now.
Yeah, I mean, the movie's so corny and dumb that the stereotypes, it's a joke. Like they're not just like, oh, seriously presenting black Africans as just savages. They're not doing that. Just like they're not leering at Jane like they could be. They're not being super racist in this. Like, if anything, they're presenting like the imperialist British guys as kind of buffoons. And they had the conversation about, don't be a racist dick, you dumb fuck. And if anything, the thing they're really focusing on is the goofy Nazis. And any movie that punches Nazis out of airplanes is cool with me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And even the part, where the natives are actually throwing spears at them at their boat, it's done so light and with the right amount of comedy that you're not even, well, the another person might say, oh, they're throwing spears, that's fucking racist to indigenous people. Like, no, it's done so light with the right amount of humor that when they show the next cutscene of them, soaking wet because their boat has sunk from all the holes in it.
Yeah.
You're like, this is fine,
No one's out to butt hurt anybody.
It's the 1980s, and it's like, this could have been way more racist and sexist than it was. Sure, it's lightly racist and sexist, but like, who cares? Like, if you're bothered by this, you have problems. Like, there is a lot worse in the 1980s that you can legit be bothered by and like actually make a point about, because there's just some movies that are like, in this decade especially, that are super offensive and should be criticized. This is just dumb bullshit. Who cares?
Yeah, it's light. It's not quite full on slapstick.
Yeah,
but it's light humor with, and no one should. And I agree with you. If anybody is really triggered by this, dude, you have got to go see a doctor.
You just need to see some other movies from this decade, because apparently you haven't. Because every other movie in this decade is way worse.
Oh God, if they ever watch Tales from the Hood, holy shit, their heart will fucking explode.
That would blow their minds.
Oh yeah. Their head would literally just explode off their shoulders. And I would pay to see that.
You want to see a racist movie from this decade? Go watch Soul Man or something, then come back to me.
Oh God, there's a reason I have not thought of that movie in decades.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lee.
You want the most racist movie from the 80s? Watch Soul Man. Want to see the most sexist movie from this decade? Watch like The Party Animal.
No, Porky's. Come on, go full on Porky's.
Well, no, Porky's actually has like some good acting and stuff going on, and actually has some like resonance. Whereas like The Party Animal is like one of the most like exploitive sex comedies ever made, which is just, it's.
But not saying a lot. It's the 80s. Everything, there is no holds bar in the 80s. I mean,
I'm just talking about the peaks of the mountain.
Oh yeah, I know, and there's so many of them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh! I think one real flaw of this movie is that Ian Roberts as Carl, our Nazi meathead, wasn't really as much as he should have been, because this guy was like a brick shit house, and
he's a good foil. He's a good foil to Sam Jones, right? Like they needed to do more together. They needed to have a couple more fights.
Yeah, like him, like press slam a villager or two over his head or something, just to prove the strength of Carl, and something more to that. I love that Heinrich and all of his incarnations just keeps getting fucked over at every turn, and we need more meathead Carl doing stuff in this movie. That's my only real bitch about this movie, is that Lola Pagola has this
fucking name, God.
Yeah, and she doesn't do anything. He doesn't really do much, except like carry the tomb of diamonds out of the hovel there. That's like the only time really he shows his strength. Otherwise, he's like this big old fucking meathead who just kind of hangs out,
Mm-hmm.
He's pretty much just a stand-in. He's a big giant mannequin.
Yeah,
and he could have eaten up a little more scenery, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they just needed
a fight.
But they needed a guy who could physically match Sam Jones. Like that. That's all they. And that's all they felt they needed. They could have done a lot more with him, because he's fun in this. Like his interactions with Maude Adams. Like there's subtext there where they're totally fucking on the side somewhere where you don't.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, you don't see it in the movie, of course, because it's not that kind of movie. But they could have done more with it. And he's got that whole rivalry thing with Jasper Carrot playing Heinrich or whatever, and they're always going back and forth because they both kind of want the approval of Lola Pagola. So. That's all fun stuff.
Well, he did have a moment where he showed his humanity when they were messing around in the marketplace, fucking with the vendors, and he just got sick of it and went and punched one of them so hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like, now that is seriously a human moment. He's like, no, you don't get to mess with the natives. No, you don't get to act like that. So, well, I'm going to punch you so you'll stop.
I mean, he's a Nazi, but
he is a Nazi, but he had a redeemable moment.
Yeah, he kind of knows as like, I'm the only Nazi in Africa here. You got to get along to get along.
But you needed it in this Indiana Jones ripoff, because that's what it is at the end of the day. You needed the fight between Jungle Jack and Carl on the runway. You needed that kind of fight.
Yeah.
Versus your hero,
Yeah, because they only kind of had that like kind of brief fist fight on the plane, really, and in the end, it's like it's Jane who basically wins that fight, because he's like, shoot the dog, because he's scared of the dog, and he's like, Lola, shoot the dog or whatever, and Jane's like, fuck you, and knocks his ass out.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, he really wins the film. Fritz the dog, as portrayed by Magnum, the dog acting just fine in this movie.
Yeah.
He kind of resembles a dog that kind of looks at you when you're having sex and just kind of like starts crying or something. But if you're in a situation, But yeah. He looks sexually confused as dog, and also it's just quick cuts to this fucking doctrine that was seriously kill the dog. Like, the fuck you will kill a dog. Come on now, That's, not enough monkey from the trailer in this movie either. But that's, again, these are real small things. And I enjoy the fuck out of it. But you guys should watch it. But I'll kick it to the lead and say your final thoughts about Jane in Lost City.
First final thought. Apparently my mic level was way down. Thank you, StreamYard, for doing that. This is fun. I won't go deep into my fetishes, but Jane losing her clothes definitely checks off a box. So I enjoyed that, and I enjoyed the light touch at the same time, because sometimes this stuff can get into like really bad, sleazy territory where it's like, oh, I'm a nasty, dirty man for liking this. But here I'm like, I'm okay with it. It's fun. It's light and breezy. Nazis get foiled. They look like fools, as they should, because Nazis are fools and pieces of shit. And everybody in this cast is having fun, and they're vibing with each other, and they're rolling with what's going on here. And there's not a lot going on. It's not much of a script. It's just kind of a basic slapsticky thing. It's not, I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's one of the better Indiana Jones ripoffs, because it's not, but it's not a terrible one. It's not like horrible. It's not unwatchable. It's light and breezy, easy squeezy, lemon breezy, whatever you want to say. I'd say watch it. If you have a lazy, it's kind of one of those movies where, and I think this is where I saw pieces and bits and pieces of it back in the day. It was just one of those things that would like play on a Sunday or something on TV. And it's like, if you have a lazy Sunday and you kind of want a little bit of an Indiana Jonesy adventure-y thing going on, then fucking fire this up on YouTube or whatever and watch it. And you might enjoy it. If you like seeing ladies' underwear, you get a lot of that.
Yes, indeed. Suzanne.
I really wasn't sure what to expect going into this. I'm like, oh God, this is going to be horrible. It really isn't. It's just, as Lisa is, just light. It's breezy. It's funny. It's goofy. My new hero is the Leopard Queen. I'm down with her. I definitely want to go sit and sip wine with her and talk about being deposed to the jungle while reminiscing about my lost love. I think that would be a fun afternoon, but it's not bad at all. There's nothing really rough about this. It's a nice little PG Sunday afternoon hangover film. I kind of liked it a lot more than I thought I was. I was gonna like it. I'm glad I went into this blind. Didn't look up anything, so it's fun. And Sam Jones, not shirtless enough.
I forgot to mention that this the island that we filmed this at is Mauritius, which is island off the coast of East Africa.
So
I think. Oh, so sorry.
There you go.
They use the location really well as far as that goes, and on the total grand scale of Jade in the Lost City, though, I really enjoy my time with it. I miss films like this. I think the last one they really had that was like a Indiana Jones type adventure film was that very first Mummy film with Brendan Fraser, and it's good enough for me. I mean, I need more stuff like that, where you have the damsel who's not quite in distress, but she's kind of is. She's kind of independent, and but yeah, nobody's really an afterthought in this movie. That's what I really liked about this film, that all your main characters all genuinely had something to do, and not like the last movie.
No,
so
yeah.
For me to say, I recommend Jane in the Lost City exponentially over the prestige film that is Monuments Men. I never thought I'd say this, but you know what? If you got 90 minutes plus some ads, go to Tubi and watch it. I think there's a DVD out there, but it's on a label I never heard of before. But it would not surprise me if like a Kino Lorber picked this up and not even put extras on it. Well, I would love to hear a commentary, but you never can tell. But it's just
but I think Sam would just embellish the shit out of it.
Yeah, give Sam Jones a paycheck.
Yes, indeed. You can do a lot worse in this movie. A lot.
Mention if Bill Murray was in this movie. Like the Bill Murray for Monuments Men just walked into this movie playing like the Colonel or something. Like, yeah, that'd be cool.
No, looking for the hidden stash and the diamonds that the Nazis took. Mm-hmm. Oh God, we're onto something here.
There we go. That's the universe. That's the head canon I want. That's the crossover. The Monuments Men meets Jane in the Lost City. Bill Murray trying to get those diamonds, And, just making like off the cuff comments about Jane and her garter belts.
Underwear.
Yeah. Bob Balaban like talking with Toombs, like that would work.
Oh yeah. But for the love of God, don't step on a landmine.
No.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah. Yeah, just a lot of stuff works for me. The pratfalls, Jane losing her clothes in hilarious ways. Ridiculous Hogan's Hero-esque Nazis in this movie.
Yep.
I love everything about it. And you know what? If you don't like anything about it, maybe you need more joy in your life. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Yeah.
You could do a lot worse than Jane in the Lost City, in my opinion. And yeah, I need more meathead Carl in this movie doing stuff. My only bitch about this film is that I need that, but it's a high recommend for me to just say, you know what, everybody takes everything so seriously now. Well, why not watch this girl get her dress ripped off again in hilarious ways? It's like, oh no, Jane got wet from the river. She got their clothes up again. It's just it's there, and it's not objectifying women all that much because they're not really, like Lee said, they're not really looking at her in that way. They're more saying cover her up than anything else. So yeah, it's good. It's a pure good. I've seen about so many films that like this, but you know what? Hour and 33 minutes is fucking breezy as fuck, and it'll please you on a hangover Sunday morning. Let's put it that way. Yeah. But that's it for Jane and her slip. We'll be right back to close out the show.
And now, preview time. When it comes to entertainment, you can't beat a good film. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
It's the ultimate soldier. It doesn't get happy, it doesn't get sad, it doesn't laugh at your jokes.
It is quite simply the most sophisticated robot on Earth.
At Nova Robotics, the future is in good hands.
You're doing real good. Just keep working on those last 2 bars.
Thanks to Dr. Newton Crosby.
Originally, I designed it as a marital aid.
But artificial intelligence has gotten too smart.
No. It's malfunctioning. It might not do anything.
But it could decide to blow away anything that moves, couldn't it?
Because $11 million worth of robot just hit the road.
Wow!
Number 5 is alive.
Welcome to my planet.
You just have to find number 5, get some answers.
Why don't you come on in my house?
And it's got a lot of living to do.
Whatever it takes to put that stupid contraption out of commission, that's what you do.
Me input.
Haven't had enough of this stuff.
More input. More input.
And they can seem quite lifelike, but they are still machines.
Number 5 is alive.
Nice software.
How it happens, who knows, but it has happened.
A new comedy adventure from John Badham, the director of War Games.
They're gonna be after you. We gotta get out of here now. Keep alive!
Ali Sheedy, Steve Guttenberg, and Number 5.
Beautiful.
Short Circuit.
I am alive.
All right, that's the end of another one. I'm damn happy to say it was a good time. At least the second part of the show was here. And like, thank you, Lee, for coming on the show, my friend. And
Well,
it was a pleasure, man.
Yeah, no, this was the highlight of my week. So thanks for bringing it up.
Yay! Always good to talk to you, Lee.
Yeah, been a while, Suzanne. It was it's fun.
Oh, I know, it has been.
I know you guys stuff to push through. I just listened to one of your episodes recently. What you got coming up on? They must be just right on site.
So as of this recording, our latest episode is the blaxploitation film Bucktown. Did that with Matt from Movie Melt and Vaughn from Motion Picture Massacre, and we're getting together again this Saturday, and we're going to be doing an episode on Across 110th Street, So that will be the next episode, probably the latest thing you hear coming out of my feed whenever this drops. Also doing my side show I do every month, Blood on the Tracks. This month, of course, Blaxploitation. So it's going to be another Blaxploitation playlist, and that'll be at the end of February. So that'll be kind of the stuff that's on my feed at that point. So check that shit out. tmbdos.podbean.com. I forgot to get that in.
Yeah.
Yay!
And anywhere fine podcasts are not sold too. You can go find it there too, you know.
Or just really bad podcasts. You can find it in those places too, probably. All the podcasters get all the stuff. Come on.
Sue, anything going on with you?
No, just kind of hanging out with the Cinema Beef right now. Maybe I'll jump on something at some point, but kind of happy right here, right now, and I don't have to stretch my brain that much.
Cool. Yeah, I almost went on FW on Tuesday night, but my connection was shit for some reason. So I was like, the moment I sit down to be on that fucking show, my fucking connection turns into shit. You know, so there's.
Oh, I know. I almost jumped in Tuesday night just because they were doing Dead Snow, which is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
God, I love that movie. I really, really, really need a movie poster of Dead Snow.
Oh yeah.
God, I love that movie.
If come up if you guys are in Chicago in March towards the end of the month, Days of the Dead's happening. I'll probably be going for a short time that day, but if you're in the Chicagoland area, you want to come hang out and have a pint or something, Britt Eklund's going to be there, which is the main reason why I'm going.
Oh.
Wait, what? She just got announced, didn't she?
Britt Eklund and Bill Duke are going to be there, so those are the two.
Damn.
The two big ones. If I'm spending the money, that's what I'm doing, you know.
Oh fuck! I may have to. Damn. I'm gonna have to do that.
Damn.
It's gonna.
But
it's gonna, I gotta see what my schedule is. Shit.
As far as this show goes, I don't know what's coming up next. This one was kind of built on the wind, and you know, truth be told, X is taking a slight sabbatical from the show, which is why we didn't do the Manitou and the Dark Half, because all regularly scheduled programming that was going to involve him is being rescheduled until he's back at it. No details are necessary. He just has to step away for a month or possibly two. It's just yeah, that is why you're not hearing him in this episode.
I was just putting it out there. He's denying the people the Manitou and the Dark Half. He's a monster.
It's coming. It was a decision. So yeah.
You have no idea the rants I have for that movie. Unfortunately, I had to lay them on my husband since I couldn't lay them on you. And he's like, "Baby, you better write this down. I'm going to bed now. I don't want to hear it anymore."
It's Patrick. He wears hats. He could take it. Okay, come on now. You know.
No, but I was literally got my hand slamming on the table, and he's like, "Baby, I'm going to go to bed now." Okay.
You can hear him saying this too in the Pat voice, you know. But yeah, I've been doing Laserdisc streams on Instagram. If you guys can find me there, Beefy Beard 22 on Instagram. Some of those maybe shows. I just got one in with a big ass cast and called Hangfire that has a bunch of genre people in it, and I can't wait to watch that thing. So that might be a show with something else. We'll find out.
You could convert those all into like Cinema Beef minis, and you could like give him the what's his face for Legion podcast. He stick them on the YouTube. You know, you could do all kinds of stuff.
I think the next show you should hear though that we're in talks of recording again soon will be another In the Prairie Way show with John Cross. So if you guys are enjoying, yeah, those are fun because me and John get stupid and
I enjoy
the one that's coming. Yes, indeed. The one that's coming next will be on the Diner very, very soon because I know he's editing it. Where we cover Into the Sun and what the fuck was the VHS pick? I forget now. Either way, Into the Sun with Paray and Anthony Michael Hall.
Oh God.
We
I
get
must
into a
see
lot of
her.
things on you like Top Gun?
Please tell me it's a horrible version of Top Gun, because I would think I would love the shit out of that.
Well, they take Top Gun and they take The Hard Way with Michael J. Fox and James Woods.
What?
They mash them together by saying Anthony Michael Hall is an actor who wants to be in a fighter pilot movie. So he goes up with real fighter pilot Michael Pare and gets into some real conflict. Yeah, and
it sounds amazing.
It's fine. It's fine. Oh, I'm trying to get together the VHS pick. Either way, that'll be on the After Movie Diner feed to find both these things. And John Cross has been doing his thing. I'll share the link on the Cinebeat page to collect all the episodes on one page. But that's the way we do. We're alternating his feed and my feed.
Yeah.
So that's fun. It's fun getting to some lesser known stuff, and the one Michael Pare, who had an incredibly long career and still going today. He has a very interesting looking horror film that's coming out, where it's like The Hills Have Eyes, but it looks like a lot of practical effects in it.
Oh, cool.
Called Desert Fiends, it's called, and it just looks like a gory mess that I'm going to enjoy. So, but yeah, that's the end of this one. This has been your Cinebeef podcast, where if you've got beef, we've got the grinder. See you next time.